Hello everyone, welcome to Loddon Valley Leisure Centre here in the heart of Berkshire, where today's WNBL Division 1 clash sees the hometown Reading Rockets taking on the playoff chasing Worcester Wolves. John Hobbs and Charlie Haynes alongside you to keep you company for this afternoon's WNBL 1 clash. Charlie, welcome. And for Reading, obviously 1-14, bottom of WNBL 1. But for Worcester, a lot on the line for them today as they chase a playoff spot. They hold the 8th and final spot in the postseason standings, and a very big game really for both teams today. Rockets for pride and to just, try and get another win and boost the confidence, but for Worcester to solidify a playoff spot.
Absolutely. Thank you, John. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, for sure. I think Rockets, of course, have had a stretch of losing games, but actually the results and the performances have been pretty good. They've been short of players a couple of times in the last few fixtures, but always sort of around that single-digit mark. So, yes, they are missing Guerrero Rainford today, but I'm quite excited to see what they can bring with some of the young talent that they have. And as you said, Worcester Wolves, such a fantastic roster. Nina Wallace, Shanice Turner, Carolina Marquez, really exciting roster. And of course, no wonder they're chasing a playoff spot. Excited to see them in action.
And going back to what you were saying earlier about Reading, just to allude a bit more to that fact, 4 of their 5 losses in 2025 were by single digits. They battled hard, especially last week against Kohler, who are currently second right now. They shot 50% from the floor. It was just a fact that they conceded 25 points off 22 turnovers that proved to be their undoing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when you're a team that's struggling for wins at the moment, I think it's really important that you do make sure you get as many possessions as possible and really look after the ball. One thing we've seen in some of the home games at JMA is just a little bit loose in terms of keeping possession. A few too many turnovers, loose passes, things like this. So I think a big thing for Coach Luque today will be talking about how do we take care of the ball, how do we get good, clean offenses early and easy looks at the basket.
We are on the Reading Rockets YouTube channel. Welcome everyone for joining us. Today should be a fantastic encounter between these two sides. Worcester obviously got the better of Reading last time out back in November, 81-62. And Reading looking to gain a little bit of revenge here today. Starting fives for the Reading Rockets: Amber Thompson, Mia Thompson, Chrissy Karpova, Millie Day and Alana Malone. And for the Worcester Wolves, Charlotte Finn, Carolina Marquez, Shanice Turner, Nina Wallace and Heather Maxwell. Today's officials, Tim Routledge and Jamie Wheeler, will be overseeing the action as Alexis Lewis looks to guide Worcester to a win here today to further solidify a potential postseason place. They currently sit in 8th. Reading prop up the WNBL Division 1 table. And Shanice Turner, first possession off the back iron with her 3. Looked to get her own rebound. And Millie Day picks up the loose pieces. Here's Karpova. Karpova had a great game last week in Southwark. Here is Day with 9 on the shot clock. And that will go out of bounds, foot violation. And the shot clock will reset.
A good look for Worcester early on that first possession. Shanice Turner wide open for the first 3 ball, so she'd have liked to have seen that one drop, but again, can't give a player of her quality too many looks like that.
Shooting around 25% from downtown this season, Shanice Turner. Karpova a 3, banks it home.
And that's not a bad way to start, is it, John? I probably felt that one was a bit off when she let it go, but banked it in, and sometimes shooters got to shoot, and good things happen.
She hit 4 3-pointers last week against Kohler. And the other end is Charlotte Finn from downtown.
Bit of a breakdown on that off-ball screen there for Rockets, giving Charlotte Finn way too much space to return a 3.
Averages or shoots around 5 3-pointers a game does Finn. Karpova on the catch and shoot, and she nails it. It's a 3-point shootout early doors between Karpova and Finn.
Who needs an all-star weekend in the NBA when you can watch a 3-point contest right here at Loddon Valley?
Inside, beautifully done, Nina Wallace, and what a week she had last week. A triple-double, player of the week honors for Wallace. Malone. Inside to Thompson, finds Karpova, the extra pass. Shot clock at 5. Malone, turnaround jumper off the window and down.
Excellent job from Worcester in terms of trying to ensure that there was no easy shot and really forced Malone into a pressured turnaround, but I couldn't make off the backboard on the last one.
Good start from both teams here. Turner going inside, blocked by Day, and away come the Rockets in transition. Malone, the layup is no good. She'll get her own rebound and she will go to the foul line. Reading's first miss in 4 field goal attempts. However, she gets the rebound and will head to the line.
Yeah, and I think that all started from that recovery from Millie Day on the defensive end. Got beat a little bit easily from the three-point line, but managed to chase back and get a hand on the shot. And really impressed with Rockets early here. They've not got the biggest scoring threats on the floor at the moment, and there's a lot to cope with this Worcester starting 5. Lots and lots of talent on the floor and lots of scoring opportunities. So important that Rockets did get hot early, and they've done just that.
As you say, Rockets a bit light today with Ali Garena Rainford missing out. And that, their leading scorer averaging 18 points a game. That's a huge loss for the Rockets as they look to get their 2nd win of the season. But they lead 10-5 early doors here at Loddon Valley. Marquez, a 3, buries it.
Yeah, Rockets can't be giving up too many of these open threes. They're giving up a lot of those early, and that could really cost them. They've done a great job on the offensive end. Got to get better on the defensive end. 14
points against Reading in November. Veteran Carolina Marquez, the Portuguese guard. Day. It's a good look, but unfortunately for her, Wallace breaks out with the steal and the finish.
What a change of pace Nina Wallace has. Just sort of encouraged that pass, anticipated that pass, and no one's catching up with her in transition.
And Wallace grabbed the ball off Amber Thompson. I think a foul has been called on Wallace. Reading will keep the ball from here. That kind of looked like a jump ball situation, but referee Tim Routledge obviously saw something that we didn't. Tied at 10 here on the Reading Rockets YouTube channel. First of 2 games this afternoon. Malone, Karpova drives. The floater is money.
And Karpova getting hot early is important. Like we said, no Guerrero Rainford, so Day, Karpova really gonna have to step up today.
8 points for Karpova, a block by Amber Thompson at the other end. But what about Chrissy Karpova in the last few games? In 2025 alone, averaging 19 points a game this season, and she's got off hot today. As Turner misses the layup, that's good defense again from Day, and here is Karpova to Thompson, who will slow it down. Day looks for help, finds Thompson, who is fouled by Wallace, I think. Yes, it is. So another foul on Nina Wallace. That's 2 quick fouls for her. And Coach Lewis, no choice but to check her out. And Priscilla Okra coming in.
Yeah, and okay, maybe the first call, we can talk about it, but the second one, Wallace has to be smarter there. When you've already got a foul early and you're such a key player, really important player for this Worcester team, you can't go and get a cheap foul like that on a dribble. You need to be trying to touch passes and just stay in front of the ball.
13 points, 10 rebounds and 15 assists last week for Nina Wallace. Thompson, a short 6-footer, is good.
Yeah, Rockets really building up momentum on the offensive end. Those couple early threes have really got them going and playing at a nice tempo here.
It's a really energetic start, isn't it, from the Rockets? Here is Okra off the window, too strong, and Malone rebounds. Millie Day. Malone at the top. Karpova, no hesitation! Chrissy Karpova with her 3rd three.
And we have many young Rockets girls in the crowd here at Loddon Valley for this one today. And Karpova is putting on a show in this first quarter.
11 points for Karpova so far. Marquez is short, grazes the rim. Here is Thompson. Karpova again. And a bit of a heat check there for Karpova with that 3. 3 of 4 now from downtown for her. And Day fouls Marquez.
Oh, that's, let's see, it's on the body, so official Jamie Wheeler must feel that she didn't quite beat the player to the spot, must have sort of made some illegal contact on her way in front of the body. So quick one for Millie Day. She'll want to try and manage that next foul now, probably try and avoid getting one for the next minute or so.
Okra inside, deflected by Day, but it came off her last. So Worcester will keep it.
Nice little set there from the Coach Lewis playbook.
Turner. Okra. Lovely footwork from Okra and the finish.
Yes, Rockets need to try and help inside there. It's a good little mismatch for Worcester, that one, when they managed to get the switch. Amber Thompson defending inside. Another player for Rockets has to come and help there.
Here is Amber Thompson looking for Karpova, stripped and stolen away from Marquez, and now Charlotte Finn has it. Finn, Marquez, a 3, gets it to go. Carolina Marquez from downtown, a really good three-point shooter when in rhythm.
Absolutely, and we're not short of threes today. Teams going 6 of 8 combined at the moment from behind the three-point line.
Shooters will shoot right now. And here is one of them. Karpova again for 3. And banks in another one. Even she wasn't sure how that went in.
I tell you what, I'm so surprised at how much space Karpova is finding. Wolves have to find a solution to this. Put someone a little bit closer to her. Give her less space on the catch.
And Karpova gets the rebound off the miss from Turner. 14 for Karpova already. Malone. Day. Loses the handle. Shot clock is at 7. And that's a poor pass from Day, picked off easily by Marquez, who gets blocked by Day, but a foul has been called. Late whistle from the official. Yeah. Nearly a good comeback recovery there from Day.
Yeah, and I thought maybe she made some contact with the body, but official Tim Routledge just said that she got contact on the arm, so must have not quite waited till the ball had left the hand. You always want a block shot. You never want to try and block it till the ball actually leaves the hand. Just try and keep yourself safe from fouls. That means both players now have a good scorer on 2 fouls. So Wallace and Day both going to have to sit for a couple of minutes now.
Tanya Dillon into the game for the first time. Young 16-year-old wearing number 16 for the Rockets as Amber Thompson comes out.
Just want to say on that last possession, John, you could see Marquez really starting to bump and fight Karpova a little bit on the defensive end, and that's what actually led to the steal. So they're exactly what we thought they might do. They're starting to take away her space here. So they're in a bit of a zonal press, but let's see what happens when they break into their man-to-man.
Mia Thompson, that'll go out of bounds. It will stay with the Rockets. Safi Jaju into the game also for Reading, and taking a breather is Millie Day. And also into the game, Megan Lovett for the Worcester Wolves. Karpova in the corner, splash! Oh my goodness, she can't miss!
First of all, incredible shooting from Karpova. I'm so surprised with the amount of space Worcester are allowing her to have. They've got to look at their coverages a little bit better here.
5 3-pointers for Chrissy Karpova in the first quarter. And that goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Wolves. But, you know, we talk about Worcester trying to, like, you know, get in a bit closer on Karpova, but what we've not mentioned is Chrissy's incredible off-ball movement. She's finding that space incredibly well, and, you know, a veteran like her, almost a decade in the game here in England, she knows exactly where to find her favorite spot and she'll do anything to get there. And my goodness me, right now, 5 of 6 from downtown.
Absolutely, and I think there's a couple of different things that you need to do when you're defending a player like Karpova, who's having a day like she is. There's a couple of different things you can do. One of those is you just sit a player on her. You don't help off that player. So if you see a teammate gets beat, but you're with a shooter that's just made the amount of shots Karpova has, you don't leave her, you sit on her, and you practically play 4v4. The second thing is, whenever a screen is happening, you've got a couple of different ways of defending an off-ball screen. You could switch matchups, and then the new player that switches onto Karpova does exactly the same thing, be really aggressive, or you can fight the screen, get really close, stay attached, stay aggressive, and try and really limit her space. We know off the dribble, Karpova is not going to be as effective as she is on an open catch and shoot. So don't worry about getting beat. You've got people to help you with that, but do worry about her catching it open on the three-point line.
Well, her best three-point shooting game in terms of three-pointers made this season was back in January against the London Cavaliers, where she was 5 of 10, and she's already equaled that with 3:34 remaining in the first period. Here is Marquez. Looks for Okra inside. Beautiful little pick and roll. Loses the ball. Turner has it. Shot clock winding down. They've got to put up something. Shot clock violation and a great bit of defense, especially around the perimeter from the Rockets.
Absolutely. Jarju got caught in the air but managed to recover really, really well. Excellent help from Alana Malone, but Mia Thompson drops quick as lightning to take away the next option, which led to the shot clock violation.
Karpova. Karpova's actually 4 from 5 from downtown, excuse me, not 5 of 6. Here is Thompson, and she joins the three-point party.
And that shot happens because they are not leaving Karpova. Normal rotation would mean Karpova's player has to drop to the corner. Karpova shot so well, now her teammates are even benefiting from it.
25-17 to the Rockets, and a turnover. Marquez is still on the floor. Karpova wide open. It's Thompson for 3. No, it's short. Oh, we were nearly ready for that one. Foul has been called on the rebound.
I was ready to fall over the balcony on that one, John, if that got in.
But what a start for Reading, and Coach Portero Luque has got to be absolutely ecstatic with what he's seeing right now. Here is Marquez. Turner. 2 Worcester veterans linking up here. Finn driving at Dillon. And Dillon did stand her ground, but had a bit too much of the player as well as the ball. So a foul has been called.
Yeah, Worcester going to what's called a stagger action there, where they're trying to get a couple of screens away from the ball and try and normally create a couple of dives to the basket or an open three-point shot, but might be easy for them. Just get the ball into a key playmaker and go back to pick and roll. They're actually doing a good job on the offensive end. 2 minutes left, you're on 17 points. It's the defense that's the problem. I think on the offensive end, keep it simple, get it to your main creators, have good spacing, and just play out of your reads.
Amber Thompson checks back in, and Tanya Dillon will take a seat. And while Tanya Dillon takes a seat, it's good to see her promoted, so to speak, to the WNBL 1 lineup, having a great year with JMA. Obviously, you know that very well, averaging 11 points, 4 boards, and getting 2 steals a game in the WNBL this season. It's great to see Tanya at 16 years old applying herself in this division.
Absolutely, a player that did a couple of years with the under-16s as a junior and really worked on a game, worked very, very hard, took every opportunity available to her. She's training, you know, 1, 2, maybe even 3 times a day sometimes to try and really work on her craft. And she's a credit to herself in terms of the effort she puts into it. And she is reaping the rewards now, which I'm really proud about.
Casey Cox into the game for the first time for Worcester. Shanice Turner, the assistant coach of the Wolves, takes a seat as the ball goes out of bounds. Charlotte Finn deflecting it out. 25-19, 2:12 remaining in the first. Here is Karpova. Thompson. Jarju. Back to Karpova with 9 to shoot for the Rockets, and that's a poor pass from Karpova. She knew it instantly as soon as it left her hand, and Worcester will get the ball back.
And much better coverage from Carolina Marquez there made sure to limit her space, and when she had the catch, it wasn't about putting loads and loads of pressure on, it's about being close enough to make sure the shot wasn't the option and force her into a pass or a drive.
Like how you said that as well, loads and loads. So much anger towards your voice sometimes. Anyway.
I'm a nice person, really.
Of course. Here is Finn. Cox from the wing, a 3.
And again, shooters shoot. She's someone that's in good form behind the line recently and gets herself going with a quick one here.
8 3-pointers in this first quarter alone, and we still have 1:30 remaining. Good defense there from Okra. Here is Thompson, gets it batted away by Finn, and here is Cox. It's 3-on-1, and a good bit of recovery there from Malone, but Okra picks it back up for Worcester, and they will slow it down. Entering the final minute of the first period, here is Marquez. Okra. Finn wide for 3. That's off the back iron. It was a long 3-point attempt with the shot clock winding down. Here is Karpova to Malone. Karpova, or excuse me, Malone whacks Okra, who felt that. And Okra now down at mid-court. She got absolutely, from where we saw, really got a stiff shot there from Alana Malone. Obviously, we won't know how much of that she got, but she certainly felt that.
Yeah, I mean, I got an opportunity to just watch it back there, and I think it all starts with actually the first foul is on Okra. She's got 2 hands on the player. She's invading the cylinder of the offensive player, and Malone kind of then just sort of rotates her shoulder into her and just catches her probably on the chin or the nose there by the looks of it. I'm sure unintentional, but a couple of possessions in a row, Okra's been really passionate on defense, but maybe actually a bit too close, and unfortunately catches one because of it.
Well, she's still feeling the effects of that as we continue looking, as Malone prepares to go to the line. And into the game for the first time as Malone hits the first. Zabeti Bamagoi seeing her first minutes. Another youngster, 19 years of age. As Malone, in her first season with the Rockets, misses the second free throw, but Karpova with the offensive board, and now the Rockets can reset. Here is Malone. Iamidi. Iamidi, the ball stayed in bounds. That was a good bit of recovery there from Marquez, who even flashed a smile at that. And Worcester can pick it up again, and Marquez again keeps it in. Driving at Karpova, almost a push-off, but referees thought that was okay. And Worcester with an empty trip, but Marquez nearly stealing it off Karpova, and that should be, or will be, a foul. It was almost a violation of sorts, but Karpova was fouled. 4.3 remaining, and Chrissy Karpova will head to the line.
Yeah, and it's not a smart foul from Marquez there. I know part of it is just trying to show your grit, show your fight. I understand that, but she actually did a good job of keeping Karpova in front and got a little bit too bought into the action of trying to get into it with Karpova and a bit of pushing and shoving, and actually in the end she's given up 2 shots to the best shooter in the game so far.
Millie Day checks in for the final 4 seconds as Alana Malone heads to the bench. And Karpova now moves on to 17 first quarter points. What a first quarter it has been for the Estonian.
Absolutely, and a chance to boost that up with a couple of easy ones, and she does.
Now Karpova, a 76% foul shooter for the season, will take a breather to end the first period as Tanya Dillon checks back in for the final 4.3 seconds. Damagoi waiting to receive the ball from referee Tim Routledge as we enter the final seconds of the first period here at Loddon Valley. And the ball goes out of bounds. It was a poor setup there for Worcester, as Bamagoy didn't really get much help there, and Casey Cox couldn't hang on, and Reading will get the ball with 3.4 left.
Excellent job from Coach Luque there. He very quickly after that second free throw, he used his opportunity to sub, and he put his best 5 pressing defenders on the court and denied every catch, doubled the main threat, and then basically played 3v3 with everybody else, try and make it really hard to catch. So you'll see that pass over Day's head was difficult because of the way Millie Day was defending. Makes it a really tough catch out of bounds, and now with 3 seconds left, he can call a timeout and draw up a sideline play. None of that happens if we don't see this foul in the backcourt with 5 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Because of that extra team foul, Coach Luque can now put his best 5 offensive players in and run a really good set and probably try and get Karpova a wide open 3.
And what about the start Rockets have had in this first quarter? It was a tough day back in November when these two teams last met in Worcester. Worcester coming out 81-62 victors. At the time, that was Reading's 5th straight loss. And only Mia Thompson and Jade Blackburn were in double figures for scoring that day. They weren't really at the races, Reading, but they've really set the standard in the first period so far. It's just a question of how long they can keep that momentum going.
Yeah, for sure, and there's going to be some challenges we can talk about at the end of the quarter in terms of what happens next for the two coaches. But what we can see here is a smart couple of changes here from Coach Alexis Lewis as he's put in a bigger lineup here, so expect them to have hands up on any kind of catch. There's only 3 seconds, so it's going to have to be a quick drive or a shot.
Heather Maxwell, one of those substitutions. So yeah, as you say, Worcester have gone big in these last 3.4 seconds as Malone is back in, as is Karpova. A wild pass finds Jaju, and that's will do it for the first period. Reading players wanted a foul inside, but referee's not interested, as is Portero Luque, the head coach. Yeah. He thinks there was an over-the-back foul, but it's the end of the first period.
Oh, yeah, I've had a chance to see that back. Maxwell did manage to get both arms from behind. So unlucky on that last one. Nice set from Rockets. Didn't quite execute the pass, but what they tried to do is have 2 distraction cuts to the ball and create a little back screen action to try and get a wide open catch all the way to the rim. So you could see, because of the way Rockets have shot the ball so well, there's a heavy focus for Wolves now on trying to deny the 3-point shot. That's now opening up exactly what we just saw. More space at the rim, chances to back cut, to drive, less help to attack, drive and kick, because the rotations have had to change for the defense. So certainly an interesting second quarter to come now that Rockets are shooting the ball so well. It will be a challenge for Rockets if Worcester do manage to take Karpova more out of the game. Who's also going to step up for them? You know, no one else has scored more than 5 points so far other than Karpova for Rockets. Who can go and take that responsibility on and go and get another 6 to 8 points in the first 5 minutes of the second quarter?
Well, as we enter the second period, certainly the first quarter has been about one player and one player only, and that is Kristina Karpova. As you mentioned, 18 points, 6 of 7 from the field, 4 of 5 from downtown. Her season best from downtown has been 5 triples, and 1 more to equal that, 2 to better that. But what's really stood out in this first period is Rockets 9 of 13 from the field. They've only missed 4 field goal attempts in the first 10 minutes. And that is a really, really positive sign for Coach Portero Luque's girls. Obviously, time will tell if they can keep that momentum going. It's never really been done before where a team has only missed 4 shots in the entire game. But be that as it may, this has been a good start.
Yeah, for sure, and it will be hard for them to continue this level of offense up, but it won't be so difficult for Wolves to continue to get a 20-point quarter because just of the amount of scoring threats they've got. They've got size, they've got shooters, and they've got some really elite guard play. So important that Rockets find a way to get some stops early here in this second quarter.
Remember, Rockets without Ali Garena-Rainford, their leading scorer. An offensive foul, I think, has been called. And yes, it is. I believe that was on Amber Thompson. That's her first foul. So Worcester will get the ball back. And on the other side, it's not actually been a bad quarter for Worcester. They've shot the ball very well. They've found their, their spots. They've taken advantage inside. It's just Reading's offense has been that good, but Worcester certainly have had a good first quarter as well.
Yeah, offense for Worcester has been good. I think they've been most effective when they've kept it simple. Just the defensive end, they've got to find a way of covering shooters better.
Obviously, as well, having that player on the floor, Nina Wallace will help. She had to sit out the majority of the first period on very quick 2 fouls, but now she's back on the floor to start the second. Thompson, great defense from Finn, and she comes up with it. Here is Wallace, assessing what's before her. First minute of the second played. Finn for 3, buries it.
Big shot for Finn. Player maybe not one of the most dominant ball handlers in the team, not maybe most creative, but can do things like that. Catch an open one, shoot one, make a nice play off a drive.
Jarju inside will go to the line for the Rockets. Charlotte Finn very quietly onto 8 points. We've spoken about her defense quite a lot in this game right now, but offensively she's doing some damage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, when you've got players, I mean, on the court right now, Marquez, Turner, Wallace, it normally takes a lot of the defensive focus. So if you can be a player that can make a play in the way Finn does, catch and shoot a 3, get a couple of stops and steals on the defensive end, attack a closeout and try and get yourself to the paint to make the next decision. If you have players around you that can help create for you, then you can really benefit from it. And she's doing just that, as you said, 8 points, 2 assists, 2 steals.
Safi Jarju, who made her season debut back in November in Worcester. She missed a chunk of the early part of the season through injury. Good to see her back, another veteran of the WNBL. Turner, beautiful footwork, drives, misses the layup, gets the ball back, and now Worcester will reset. Finn, no hesitation, but long with the 3. And well, that will go to Reading. Now, I'm fairly certain Alana Malone hit that last, but referees obviously saw something different.
Yeah, sure, you could see Worcester were very confident that that was their ball, looking at the reaction, but nonetheless, black ball, Rockets ball, let's see what happens.
As Mia Thompson looked to advance the ball, but had no path to the to an extra pass, so Rockets will get the ball back. And Mia Thompson had a great game when these two teams last played in November. 23 points, 7 boards, played all 40 minutes in that game actually. That was a very short-handed Reading team in Worcester that day. Here is Karpova, and here is Mia Thompson. Nearly stolen away by Turner as Charlotte Finn slides to the ground, and Worcester will get the ball. Again, good defense from the Wolves.
Yeah, for sure, and I think the introduction of Day here was important. We're missing Guerrero Rainford, and Day obviously was on 2 fouls, so they were a bit short of just someone that could comfortably get the ball over the half or finish. Who can you run a pick and roll for? So who can you get to touch the paint and create options to kick out to the likes of Karpova? Without Guerrero Rainford, that kind of falls on the shoulders of Day. Obviously 2 fouls already, so Worcester would be smart to attack her here.
Worcester shooting 38% from the field thus far, but they're getting very good looks as Maxwell goes off the window.
Lovely quick finish from Maxwell there. Catches and finishes within a split second.
Jarju, Malone, Karpova. Lovely pass to Malone, who can't hang on. Turner has it. Here is Nina Wallace. Marquez, a 3. That's off to the right-hand side. She knew that was off from the moment it left her hands. And here is Day. Reading yet to get into gear here in this second period after an electrifying first 10. And Turner and Thompson dive for it, and Wallace comes up with it. Wallace looking for Finn, another turnover, and here is Day. Karpova, a 3, that's off. Jarju, Amber Thompson, she buries a three.
Big shot. Rockets needed that, needed a couple more points on the board. It's been a bit difficult for them. Worcester starting to defend really physically, really aggressively, doing a great job. So that three from Thompson's going to help for the team's confidence.
That's a first triple for Amber Thompson in this one. 10 points, 2 steals last week against Kohler. Marquez looking to answer but doesn't. And Day gets the rebound. Already a 4th rebound for Millie Day. And a lovely pass inside, and Jaju inside with the finish.
And again, the first person down the floor that would normally help is Marquez there, but because Karpova's the first one to the corner, she can't come and help. Wide open layup under the rim.
Finn with the hesitation. That comes off a Reading player. Finn wants a foot violation, and Millie Day all alone says thank you very much.
Yeah, and referee Jamie Wheeler, in my opinion, is exactly right there. The ball was thrown at a leg, but it wasn't kicked. There was no intentional movement to the ball from what I could see. So I totally agree with him, and Worcester have to get back.
It didn't even come off the leg. It came off almost like the thigh region as Finn at the foul line doesn't get the free throw line jumper to fall. And now Rockets, who started poorly, it must be said, in the first few minutes, have now woken up and now can take a double-digit lead. Thompson driving, and good defense there from Maxwell. Wallace, Finn, the extra pass, a beautiful find to Wallace. Great pass from Charlotte Finn.
That is a very, very nice pass. Inside hand to create line of pass. Good finish. This game has got a lovely little bit of energy and atmosphere to it. I'm loving it.
Been a fantastic, entertaining game thus far. It certainly has. Not a dull moment as Jaju puts in a 2. A timeout, Worcester.
Absolutely, and a good timeout from Coach Lewis. I think Worcester need to just settle themselves down. Okay, there might be a couple of calls that they feel have gone against them. I think Reading felt the same way at the end of the first quarter. You can see actually Coach Luque making his point now. So both teams are thinking the same. So we can't point it at a referee. It's now about who can have composure, who can make good decisions. We saw in that last one, I think that kind of tells you how frustrated Worcester are feeling at the minute. They've thrown the ball, it's hit a leg, and then none of them got back. All of them are talking to the referees, but none of them actually got back. So wide open layup for Rockets. Who's there to contest? Who's there to challenge? Likewise, we've seen a couple of times seen girls go to the floor, whether that's because they've been bumped, held, pushed, or maybe just fell over. It doesn't matter. Get back up, go and defend. Who's got the discipline and the competitiveness to get back up, get back on defense, and try and get your team back in front of this game?
Well, it hasn't been a dull moment in this contest so far. It's been entertaining at both ends. And Reading have a 38-29 lead. And in what has been quite a pivotal week of WNBL action, of course, with Ipswich and Kohler going at it, Brent losing on Saturday as well. We were due another absolute thriller to conclude this weekend's fixtures, and we're certainly getting that with these two teams right now. And Reading certainly are not playing like they are the basement side in WNBL Division 1. Absolutely on fire from the field. 13 of 18 from the floor thus far, and Worcester fighting for that final playoff spot in a bit of a predicament thus far. Here is Wallace to Marquez. Shot clock is at 9 for Worcester. Cox from the wing drives to the hoop. Shot clock is down to 2. Turner a 3, looks to bank it home but can't get it to fall.
Rockets in a 2-3 zone there, and Worcester took far too long to figure that out.
3-pointers up, 3-pointers long from Thompson as Okra and Malone fight for it.
So interesting to see what the Rockets do. They went 2-3 on the first possession here. Are they going back into a man? Are they in a zone? Looks like a 3-2 zone.
3-2 zone, yep, 3-2 zone. Wallace, it was a really poor pass to Cox, but it was deflected almost towards Cox, but the ball went out of bounds. 4:06 remaining in the half. Marquez finds Wallace, who drives along the baseline. Great find to Marquez, has her shot blocked. It was a combination of Jarju and Malone. Millie Day. Thompson wide open, a three. No, and it's batted by Turner and picked up by Wallace. The action electrifying and incredibly fast-paced. Marquez looks to drive at Day, goes inside to Turner. Okra. 7 on the shot clock. Wallace, step back three. That's short. Jarju the rebound.
Worcester struggling to find answers to this zone here. And you can see that by the choice of shots they're taking at the moment.
Malone looks for Jarju. Jarju a long two, splashes one.
2 left-hand pull-ups in a row for her in the last 2 shots that she's taken. Made one that led to a timeout and goes and makes one here as well.
Now, Worcester, offense-wise, what they're going to do to try and get this? You can see the space in a 3-2 zone. It's right on the free-throw line. Can they try and get a drive or a high-post catch?
A double-digit lead for Reading, 40-29. Wallace, Marquez, 6 to shoot. Marquez a 3. That misses almost everything. It whacks the bottom of the backboard toward the other side. Amber Thompson drives at Cox and lays it up and in.
Unreal finish from Amber Thompson. Took the ball all the way down the court. B1, B2, right hand, inside hand finish. Oh, I'm loving this game.
Cox a 3. That's off. Wallace collects her own rebound, looks for Okra, but misses everything. And here comes the Rockets again. And Malone will slow it down.
Worcester slow to get back on defense. There are a chance for Rockets to try and continue this pace. And
Wallace with the steal and Wallace with the finish. And it was just like you said, they were a bit slow to get back, but Reading, they just needed to get into their set quicker.
Yeah, you need to know what kind of team you are, and at the minute they're benefiting from transition, and they're struggling 5v5 to actually get the best look. So if you can touch the paint in transition early and often, then great, now you're creating better offense.
Marquez nearly got the steal as well, and Day misses the 3 from the corner pocket. 1 minute and 26 seconds left of the half. It's a half that neither of us really want to end right now. Here is Cox to Okra. Okra driving at Dillon. And can't get it to fall. Dillon stands her ground. And here come the Rockets again with Day. 2-on-1. Turner this time stands her ground. And Day goes to floor and stays on the floor. And that's something you don't want to see, especially with the injury concerns that Rockets have had throughout the season. And Millie Day is a vital component of this Rockets team, not just in this league, but also with you guys at WEABA level.
Yeah, for sure. And I think she just got scratched there. What you really hope is that with those kind of ones, it wasn't anything to the eyes, is what you're hoping for. If you get a bit of a scratch or a bit of a knock, it's okay. It wasn't a hard enough hit to be anything over concerning, like concussion-wise or anything like that. But if it's anything maybe to eyes, then it can be a bit nerve-wracking. You can see she's not overly comfortable, but she's a very tough young lady that I'm sure will only need a quick bit of time on the bench in the hope that she can get herself a bit of a breather and a bit of treatment and then jump back into the game.
Well, no doubt Millie Day will come back, an 18-year-old who's tougher than a 2-pound steak as Chrissy Karpova heads to the line and in her place and nails the first.
I do love your analogies.
And they are tough as well. As Karpova hits them both. And into the game for the first time, Tracy Adegoke. And almost got a Solent trio. Well, in fact, we do have a Solent trio of old as Karpova, Jarju, and now Adegoke on the floor at the same time. Here is Wallace. Final minute of the second. Marquez driving, stops and pops.
That is exactly what we were talking about not too long ago, about actually trying to penetrate to where the space is in the zone, which is around that free-throw line mid-post area. They've been shooting a lot of step-backs and a lot of forced layups over defense. Finding that little pocket of space is the solution.
Karpova misses the long 3. Marquez now with that basket, the first Worcester player to enter double figures. She's on 10 now.
That sub for Day, costly for Reading, of course. Only 2 points, but 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Done a great job on the defensive end, impacting and getting the team out in transition. So last 30 seconds, they're going to have to do well to manage without her here.
Marquez. Reading up by 11. Maxwell. Wallace. Turner a 3. That's long. Finn fights for the board. Body's on the floor. Karpova has the ball. And a foul called on Wallace. That'll be Nina Wallace's 3rd foul.
Yeah, you could see when there's about 30, 45, 50 seconds left, you normally want to try and really protect fouls. That 3rd foul puts Wallace in a bit of trouble now, because it does challenge Coach Lewis with when do you bring her in for the second half now? Do you start her, risk an early foul, then she's only got 1 left, or do you wait a little bit and maybe risk not having one of your stars on court, but you do maybe get her for a little bit longer in the game? So tough one for him to manage now.
Well, Megan Lovett will see out the quarter in place of Wallace. Karpova takes her time, methodical with the final seconds ticking by. Jarju in unfamiliar territory and misses everything with that 3 as we tick it down. Oh, and a steal there, and Thompson, I don't think, realised that the clock was winding down. But either way you look at it, Reading Rockets lead the Worcester Wolves 44-33, and unquestionably, even if you include their only win of the season against Barking Abbey, this has certainly been Reading's best 2 quarters of this season. It's been an absolute joy to watch them right now.
Absolutely has. I think the hardest part for Worcester was the fact they gave up so many points to Reading in the first quarter. Karpova's not hit a 3 in the second quarter because they've defended her better. They've made it more challenging. And we even said about when they're playing 5v5 in the half court, Reading has struggling to actually create offense. They're struggling to get deep enough to the paint, get to the basket, to force defensive to actually have to rotate and switch and move. So transition is the answer. Meanwhile, it looks like for this second quarter, Worcester have just been very sort of laid back, relaxed. They've had a few turnovers. We've seen lots of them not really getting back in transition, and Reading have punished them for that. Issues now in terms of the other way around. Reading, okay, good job in terms of defending in the second half. Did struggle defensively in the first half, gave up 22 points, but halved that in the second quarter by only giving up 11. Worcester really have to find some solutions to that 3-2 zone, because at the minute, they have no answer for it by the looks of it.
So it is half-time here at Loddon Valley, and a fantastic half of basketball, especially if you're a Reading Rockets fan. Lots for Coach Lewis to think about. Chrissy Karpova leading all scorers right now with 20, and Carolina Marquez has 10 for the Wolves. But so far, as we enter the 3rd period in around 12 minutes time, it is the Rockets who are on top, leading 44-33. Hello everyone, welcome back to Loddon Valley, where the Reading Rockets lead the Worcester Wolves 44-33 in what has been an extremely entertaining first half of action. And John Hobbs and Charlie Haynes keeping you company for the second half in what is sure to be an absolutely incredible second half if the first half was anything to go by. And Chrissy Karpova leading all scorers with 20 points so far, and 17 of them came in, or 18 of them, excuse me, came in the first quarter. But Worcester have slowly but surely found their groove, haven't they? But they still trail going into the third.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Rockets, you can see a really efficient performance from them. They've managed to keep the turnovers down for them today. They're a team that has a high amount of them, and they've managed to go to about 6.5 per quarter, and they are getting lots of opportunities to score on the fast break in transition, and are creating a lot of their own opportunities through rebounding and trying out different defenses. Meanwhile, for the Worcester Wolves, interesting to see how they come out here, and I expect Rockets will either start in their 3-2 zone, or they'll start in a man and quickly go to it and just try and offer different challenges. It'd be interesting to see what Wolves' solution to that is. They really, really struggled to break that down, scoring only 11 points in the second quarter. So be a good challenge to see what changes offensively for the Worcester Wolves, and what are Rockets going to do defensively to keep Worcester away from their lead.
Following on from this game, over on the Basketball England YouTube channel, it will be the Reading Rockets against the Milton Keynes Breakers. Dress rehearsal of next month's Kit King Trophy final. Milton Keynes head coach Billy Bedo Patel is watching this women's game with great interest, with his wife and newborn as well. Good to see Billy Bedo Patel and family here very early to catch the women's game in action.
Absolutely great coach. Had lots of opportunities to work with Billy coaching, so really pleased to see how well he's doing with the MK Breakers.
Here is Finn. Wallace slashing to the hoop, and the lane just opened up for Wallace, and she made no mistake.
Yeah, they get beat a little bit too easy there, and there was no help defense from Rockets, so rightly punished. Good finish from Wallace.
Well, there was a little bit of swelling under Millie Day's eye to end that second period. She's on the ball now, and Reading will keep a close eye on her to see how she progresses in this game. And a turnover there from her, and Worcester will get the ball back.
Wolves will want to try and just gradually chip away at this lead as quickly as possible. Won't want to let that Rockets lead last too long.
Wallace again slashing to the hoop and again scoring.
Yeah, that's twice in a row. There's been absolutely no help defense, and you need to know who's on the ball. Nina Wallace, a very dangerous player. Unacceptable for Rockets 2 possessions in a row not to have someone in help line.
Malone, Karpova, a three. That's in and out, and Karpova has not hit a three-pointer since the first quarter.
Yeah, better defense from Worcester since that first quarter, and Karpova looking to shoot them as often as she can, starting to be a little bit impatient with when she's taking them.
Wallace again with a layup, but this time there was a bit of coverage from the Rockets, and she missed it. Here is Thompson. Amber Thompson to Millie Day. Here is Alana Malone. Karpova to Malone at the elbow, blocked by Maxwell, and it's going to be a Worcester ball.
Yep, and unsurprisingly, a very quick timeout from coach Juan Portero-Luque. He will be definitely talking about a couple of things here. Won't be very happy with the way they've defended the first couple of possessions. They've been giving up easy points. You can hear him really unhappy with them. Meanwhile, on the offensive end, you can see they're getting stuck. I think really important that both teams keep it as simple as possible to start this second half. We've seen Worcester, literally that's just been a 1v1. Nina Wallace, attack, create. There hasn't been a reason to do anything other than finish. If help does come, pass, and then we just play from there. Meanwhile, on the other end, I would recommend probably getting Day in pick and roll as much as possible, or creating some off-ball screens for Karpova to run off of. I wouldn't go much further than that. Keep it really simple. Keep it simple for your players and easy to make reads and quick decisions, and move the ball as efficiently as you can after getting your strongest players to get paint touches.
Just around 2 minutes plus a bit of change played in this third quarter, and a great start to the third from the visitors. 3 stops, 2 buckets, as they look to chip away again at the lead. Reading's biggest lead of the game has been 13 points, and the Wolves have trimmed it to 7. And one little factor away from the court that has caught the attention of a few of the Milton Keynes players that are here, as well as a few Reading players, is the DJ is actually none other than a former Rockets player, current CEO Matt Johnson. He's not bad behind the decks, is he?
I'm not making a comment on that, I'm afraid.
Well, I don't think he's that bad.
You can't tell him he's good at things like that.
I don't know what music he's playing, but
remember, you don't have to share an office with him.
As Turner thinks she was fouled, ball goes out of bounds. It will go to the Rockets.
Good job from Rockets in terms of just making sure they've got players behind the ball ready to help. Now a challenge for them is to try and get a quick, simple solution on the offensive end. How can they create an effective paint touch?
Karpova. Day just about hangs on to the pass, still has it. Shot clock at 7. Misses the handle again, and it's a turnover. It's a very, very out of control possession from the Rockets. Finn blocked by Malone. Huge block from Alana Malone. But despite being blocked, Charlotte Finn all smiles, sharing a joke with Shanice Turner. I'm sure what that was about.
I think there's a dent in the wall, John, from how hard she swatted that one out of bounds.
Repping Dublin, Ireland is Alana Malone, showing that Irish charm with that huge block. Marquez. Marquez carried it.
Yeah, I spotted that. I just got a left hand under the ball. That last possession for Rockets, we did go to a ball screen action, getting Alana Malone to screen for Day, but it was after previous off-ball actions. I'd go straight to that pick and roll. Try and get Maxwell, the biggest player for Wolves, having to defend your most efficient ball handler.
Karpova looking for Malone. Coverage is good from Maxwell. Day. Karpova again. 9 on the shot clock for the Rockets. Malone back to Karpova, and Chrissy Karpova will head to the strike. Again, good off-ball movement from Karpova and a lovely find from Malone.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice little 1-2 out off the high post. Good quick pass, quick find from Alana Malone. So good job from her as she gets rewarded with a sub with Safi Jarju. Really liked Alexis Lewis there. Maxwell not overly pleased with the call. Very quickly says, no, come on, head in the game. We're doing a good job here so far in the second half. Lock back in. What's next? Let's go and do it.
20 points in this one for Chrissy Karpova. Last 5 games, she's averaged 19 points, as we alluded to in the early stages of the game. 19 points, 4 of 7 from downtown last week in Southwark against the Kohler Southwark Pride. And strings the second. And Reading off the mark in the third quarter. It's taken a little over 3 minutes to do it.
Back to the 3-2 zone as well here, Reading.
Finn wide open from the wing. And misses it, but Worcester will get the ball back. And both teams now going a little cold from outside the arc when they were both heating up, especially Karpova in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, better defense from both teams as well, I think. More focused on that perimeter shot and trying to manage matchups a little bit smarter, adapting your position based on what your opponent's strengths are.
Wallace dancing inside and gets it to go.
And she is making a point in this third quarter. Would like to see her have to do quite a lot of defending. She already got 3 fouls, so if Reading can get her another one quickly, that could really help them as she'll be forced to the bench.
12 points so far for Wallace, 6 of them coming in this third quarter, and another turnover from the Rockets. That's turnover number 17 for them, as Tanya Dillon comes in and Amber Thompson checks out.
Tanya Dillon, an excellent defender. Someone that will be coming in for that end of the floor especially.
Averaging 2 steals in the league this season. Only really just come into the lineup. Here is Marquez to Finn, back to Marquez. And Dillon nearly got the steal. The ball goes out of bounds.
No.
And Reading are convinced that's their possession, that's their ball, but it's been switched to a Worcester ball. Portero Luque is really all over official Jamie Wheeler, and a technical foul has been called on coach Portero Luque.
And the issue with that, and we talk about this as coaches a lot, is when you do make a mistake like that, the coaches are going to react. You can actually see on the big screen in Loddon Valley right now, so get ready for some reaction from the fans. Yeah, they're really not happy holding hands up. You could see it definitely did come off a Worcester player. So that reaction from Luque is because the referees haven't quite seen it. So what he'll want them to do is put 2 thumbs up in the air and say it's a jump ball. If you're not sure, you call a jump ball and you go with what the arrow, that arrow on the table, it's a red one. It shows you which way the ball goes next for any decisions you're not sure about or any withheld balls. That's what he'll want. Referees weren't sure. They've made an assumption and they have got it wrong, unfortunately. And that's what's led to the frustration from the Rockets coach.
Even Reading player Mitch Clark, who's watching the action, was incensed by that call, as he was convinced that was a Reading possession. Now the Worcester players are getting at the officials. Now, just going to check what's going on here, because Coach Portero Luque is having a chat with Tim Routledge about the fact that the replay was shown on the big screen, and now Alexis Lewis is shooing his players away because he's having a chat with Jamie Wheeler.
I'm wondering here if they might have changed the call.
This? Yeah, are they U-turning? Because Worcester...
Oh, it's a tech on a Worcester player, I think. So it might have been that there was a reaction from a Worcester player to something that a Rockets maybe reacted to.
We're just going to check what's going on here. Karpova will shoot the free throw either way, gets it to go. So that's one technical. So the technical foul was called on Charlotte Finn. She was the lead instigator in having a chat with the officials, because at the time we thought that there was a reversal of the call, and Charlotte Finn was not happy, so she was called for the technical foul.
Well, they've given it back to Worcester. I reckon it's a reaction to a Rockets player. I reckon a Rockets player is complaining, and she said something that's deemed not correct language. Yeah. And but anyway, it's a Worcester ball, and Rockets need to try and get a stop here to continue building their lead.
Wallace, Finn is wide open at the top.
And holds up the 3 fingers and says, look at that, everyone in Loddon Valley. I've made a 3-ball straight after that timeout. Good job, Alexis Lewis, on creating an open shot.
And a turnover. That was Charlotte Finn's 3rd 3-pointer of the game. And now Wallace stops but can't get it to pop. Maxwell and Day fighting for it, and Worcester will keep it.
Good job from Worcester to really narrow down the difference between the 2 teams. It's only a 5-point game now, as they are currently leading this quarter by 6.
Well, this game has virtually had everything so far, hasn't it? Marquez gets it stolen away by Karpova. And Dillon now against Turner and lays it up and in.
Excellent job from Tiny Dillon. Always high pressure moments when you're a youngster in a senior league, but good composure and finishes with her offhand.
16-year-old getting it done over a master's graduate at Worcester University. And a foul around the back, that'll be on Jarju.
Yeah, unnecessary to try and reach for that one there, but it's not a problem to have that foul because she's not on too many personals. Actually, her first one, and it's only the first team foul. And actually, team fouls can be helpful in case you need them later on.
And the big screen showing Tanya Dillon's layup score there as the ball goes back out of bounds.
Tell you what, John, what a game to have live on YouTube. Everyone watching it, enjoy this one.
It's been an absolutely fantastic game, hasn't it? It really has. Reading and Milton Keynes have got a tough act to follow. Here is Jarju to Dillon. Dillon getting past and gets swatted away by Maxwell. She got the step on Charlotte Finn, but then Maxwell was one hurdle too much.
Absolutely mishandled before she used the ball screen, and Finn sort of jumped on her in a play that doesn't shoot the ball too well, so Dillon rightly just trying to beat her player 1v1 to the rim, and Heather Maxwell's experience led on the last play.
Jarju. Day. Shot clock at 1. Jarju's got to put it up. Can't get it to fall. And now Karpova and Wallace on the floor.
Yeah, strange decision from Wallace to continue that drive. And that is a technical foul on Nina Wallace.
Wallace, yeah.
And worse than the technical, that gives her a fourth personal
foul.
Yeah, and that's really not great from her, because now coach has a really difficult decision to make. Does he keep her in, one more foul and she's out of here, or do you take her out and save her for the fourth quarter? Looks like he's opting to keep her in, which is a brave choice.
Karpova misses the extras. Rockets lead 49-42 with 4:05 remaining in the third period, and Shanice Turner, I think, will come in. And Nina Wallace doesn't look happy at the fact she's going to be subbed out, but she'll come off. And she sits right back down on the scorer's table.
Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure. Not sure why you take her out and put her back in that quickly.
Oh no, now she's coming onto the actual subs bench. There we go. Here is Day. Day driving at Turner, stolen away from her by Cox.
Great job from Rockets to get back and get 5 players in front of the ball. That's really important thing to do in a close game like this.
Finn, a 3 off the back iron. Casey Cox with the rebound, and Marquez will reset. Marquez, almost a foul there from Dillon. Marquez keeps it alive and gets it to go. That's a high degree of difficulty for Carolina Marquez.
Absolutely, great job from Dillon to keep her in front, but Marquez's skill and quality still managing to make a bucket. 12
for Marquez. 4 of 11 from the field for her. Oh. Inside Jarju. What a find, though, by Millie Day.
What a pass that is for an under-18 basketball player to make. Excellent job playing off her shoulder. Finds the wide-open Safi Jarju. Surprised she could even see her.
Casey Cox, all kinds of room, strings a 3.
It's almost like every time a team does something really well, the other one does something even better. This game's back and forth.
Jarju decides to go it alone, using her pivot foot, and is fouled by Heather Maxwell, who can't believe that call either.
Yeah, didn't need to get her hands in there. The clock was running down. You got 3 team fouls, so now they've only got 1 more to give after that. Yeah, and they've now got her on her 3rd personal foul, and it was unnecessary. She'd done a great job of keeping Jarju in front. All she needed to do was keep hands high, hands wide, and there wouldn't have been a need to do that.
Karpova wide open, splash.
And that is so big. Hasn't hit one since the first quarter. Worcester have done a really good job of limiting her catches, and then they've managed to find her on a baseline out of bounds. Great job, Rockets, executing the play.
And despite the pressure from Worcester, Rockets still have the lead. Finn misses the 3-pointer on her side. Here is Dillon.
Ooh.
And Karpova still has it. They've got to get it over the timeline. Dillon misses the ball. Here is Finn. It's 1-on-1 with Karpova, and Karpova fouls Finn hard. And Charlotte Finn, I think, wants some afters with her as well. And the Casey Cox and Carolina Marquez just pushing her away and calming her down.
The referees will be talking about a couple of things here. So one is, was there a play on the ball? If Karpova's gone in here to try and make a play on the ball, so you intentionally foul, but you do it in a certain way, and the reason you would do that is to make sure she can't make the layup. If they feel like there was absolutely no intention of actually stopping her from trying to get the ball, if it was they felt there was harm intended, it will be an unsportsmanlike foul.
Well, it was a hard foul. I mean, the referees are just having a chat.
I think they'll probably go with the route of an unsportsmanlike here.
I mean, the replays were shown on the big screen. I mean, Karpova, it was a hard foul from her, and an unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Chrissy Karpova. And her and Charlotte Finn just exchanging a slap of the hands, and no harm done. But yeah, Charlotte Finn was not happy with that foul at first, and 2 of her Worcester teammates had to calm her down. She misses the first free throw, but she will get another one, and Worcester will get the possession back with 2:05 remaining in the third quarter. And it's safe to say this has probably been, you could say, you know, we've got one more quarter to go, Charlie, but this has been one of the games of the WNBL season. It's been not short of any sort of entertainment, drama, and everything else that you could include.
Every game that in a NBL season, whether it's men's or women's, is close. Any team can win any game, and I think that's the thing we've seen. Obviously, Reading struggling with losses this season, but as you said at the top of the stream, a lot of their games are single-digit losses, even including the likes of Kohler. So Worcester maybe have underestimated them a little bit today.
Marquez long with her three, and Thompson picks up the loose change. Here is Karpova, final 2 minutes of this third period. Jarju to Day. Day, good defense from Turner, jump ball situation, and that will be a Worcester ball.
Yeah, I actually prefer the offense they've ran there. They had Millie Day on a back cut, and then a next movement for Mia Thompson to open up the space that Millie originally left for her to regain the ball. And then they ran a pick and roll where they put the biggest defender in the action. Shanice Turner just did an excellent job to get around it and managed to get back in front and force the jump ball off young Millie Day.
Here is Finn. Averages 7 points, 3 boards this season, does Finn. Here is Marquez. Gets it blocked by Thompson, but a foul has been called on the shot. Finn got the wrist as well as the ball.
Marquez, I think, has done a really good job today of getting to that mid-range area. We saw her beat the zone a couple of times shooting from that space, and she's done a good job in this second half of also getting to that sort of mid-range area and just playing off of 2 feet.
Chance for Marquez to equal her points tally that she got against Reading in Worcester back in November. She had 14 points in that contest, but she'll have to wait just a little longer because she misses the first.
Missed a couple of free throws in these last couple of possessions, Worcester, and when you're on a deficit, you do want to try and make sure that you are getting your easy ones just to gradually creep back with that lead.
Well, Worcester started the second half 4 of 4 from the charity stripe. They're now 5 of 7. Here is Day. Thompson. Jarju. Millie Day has a bit of space. Drives inside. Can't get that friendly roll.
Oh, lots and lots of contact on that finish. Unlucky not to get 2 shots at the line of a strong take.
Casey Cox, good find. The extra pass. Finn, 3 off the back iron. And Day and Marquez were fighting for it. Whistle has gone. Just see what the call is.
It's a Rockets
Should
ball.
be a Rockets ball either way you look at it. And yeah, it did come off Marquez last anyway.
I'm liking that they're getting to this pick and roll with Millie Day quicker. I'd like to see a little bit of a different angle on the screen. Shanice Turner's finding it very easy to get underneath it at the moment.
Jarju. Amber Thompson finds a bit of space inside, and Amber Thompson will head to the strike.
Yeah, important. I think Amber Thompson's done a really good job of actually being aggressive in this one, and she's already managed to get a few attacks to the rim and got a couple of easy ones at the basket. So good for her to get some contact and get a couple of shots at the line. I think important that they keep going to this ball screen. They're getting success of it. We spoke about in the first half. They did struggle 5v5 Rockets. They were better out in transition and actually playing at pace. This second half, Worcester doing a better job of actually getting players in front of the ball and making sure that there is no opportunity to transition. So the pick and roll is the solution. I would just like to see a little bit different screening angle and actually attack the back hip of the on-ball defender so that Turner can't go underneath the screen and actually has to chase Millie over the top.
Tracy Adegoke into the game for Reading. As Mia Thompson takes a seat, Marquez. Good to see a good crowd here as well at Loddon Valley supporting the women today. There's over 100 or so in attendance, which is good to see. And of course the Milton Keynes Breakers players and Reading Rockets players joining them as well, as Turner can't hang on and Reading will get the ball.
Absolutely, lots of support from the under 12s and 14s, seen some under 10s, under 16s are here as well. So great to see our women's team so well supported by the junior girls club.
Also nice for the under 12, some of the under 12 players to give us some sweets at half-time as well. As Turner picks off the pass from Day, and Day picks it back up again. Here is Karpova. Final 20 seconds of the third quarter. Like the first two quarters, full of incidents. And there's a bit of a miscommunication there. Marquez and Karpova diving for it. That was awkward as Karpova felt that. And Karpova is in a lot of pain, as is Marquez.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sloppy pass from Day. She took a bounce before looking, and we always say when you catch, you need to look before you make any decision. So normally it's your catch, you look and assess before you make your decision.
Well, yeah, we've got the physios quickly and the medics now, because Karpova and Marquez gingerly makes her way up, but Karpova is
she's
very worryingly still on the deck and really looks in a lot of pain. It was a very awkward pass, as you said, from Millie Day, and Karpova and Marquez clashed very heavily, and the brunt of Marquez's heel and foot went directly on Karpova. Whether that was on the shoulder or the face or somewhere else, I wasn't sure, but it certainly connected.
Yeah, absolutely. Karpova did the right thing to go for the ball, because it was the only option that they had to actually try and recover it. Because if she hadn't have gone for the ball, it would have meant that Marquez would have picked it up and gone for a layup. Because she's touched it, it will now be a Worcester ball on the sideline. Poor execution on the Rockets offense. They only had one shot left to take with the way the shot clock was running down, or the game clock was running down. But again, Day took that bounce, picked it up, put herself in all sorts of trouble, and there was no option for her to pass. Needs to throw it either towards the rim or off the defender. You can't throw it back to the middle or back towards your own hoop, because that leads for transition opportunities.
8.5 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and while you were talking as well, Charlie, there was a replay of the incident, and it seemed like Marquez's, almost her entire body collapsed onto Karpova, and obviously, you know, both players have a right to go for the ball. It was a loose ball, both players needed to get it, but it was just unfortunate. And, you know, no fault from either person. You've got to go for the ball, and it's just unfortunate that Karpova, who is still on the floor as we speak, and she does not look in a good way, and certainly hope she's okay.
Yeah, it looks like physio is just doing some mobility work with her shoulder, just checking range of movement. Looks like hopefully she's okay. And as you said, John, you're absolutely right. You have to go for the ball. You have to try and fight for possession. There's actually a lot of contact in this non-contact sport, funnily enough. So these things do unfortunately happen. We saw Day get a knock to the bottom of her eye in the first half, and Karpova's knocked to her shoulder. But these tough players are used to lots of contact. They're brave. They go for the ball, and unfortunately, these kind of little knocks and injuries can happen.
Well, Karpova now sitting up. She still hasn't got up properly yet. Now, Reading men's head coach Samit Nirazadeh is now coming over to check up on her as well.
So 8.5 seconds left. Will be a Worcester ball on a sideline.
You sure?
Well, it should be.
It's been a while, but Karpova now gingerly back up onto her feet, very slowly but surely, and a much-deserved round of applause. What a game she has had today up until this point. 26 points, 5 of 9 from downtown as she makes her way to the bench very slowly. And it's very encouraging to see her on her feet and walking.
Absolutely, good to see she's back up.
Very much
hoping
so.
that shoulder's okay. She did have a good amount of movement a second ago.
Well, she'll head to the physio's table just to get some more treatment.
And what this has given is Coach Lewis and Coach Luca a chance to set up their offenses and defenses, and always normally offense wins in that scenario. So let's see what Worcester draw up here.
8.5 to go. Rockets lead 56-48. Here in the third, Marquez. Cox. They've got to put up something now. Turner's got to put it up, and that'll end the third quarter. A good bit of defense there from the Rockets. Turner couldn't get a shot off, and by the time she gave it to Casey Cox, the shot clock and the game clock had wound down. So that ends the third period here at Loddon Valley. Reading Rockets lead 56-48. And the unfortunate story to end the third is Chrissy Karpova coming down with an apparent shoulder injury, but she is getting treatment as we speak from the in-house physios here at Loddon Valley. She, before that, was on 26 points, leading all scorers. And for the Worcester Wolves, leading the way for them, Nina Wallace with 14 points, 53% from the field. And even though Rockets have the lead, it's all to play for in the fourth period.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've now lost experience there in Karpova. I suppose there's always a small chance she comes back into the game, but with the way she went down, that would be surprising. Worcester, of course, just won their first quarter of the game, but they only won it by 3, so they do have a bit of a sort of a fight back and a stretch to try and make here.
What's funny is there's a young lady on the floor just shooting around as we get set to start the fourth quarter, and every time she gets a bucket, the crowd at Loddon Valley, a little cheer, which is lovely to see, isn't it?
One of our amazing under-10s, that is, under-10
I was going to say, she can't be older than 10.
Give it a few years, we'll be seeing her on the live stream playing for the Rockets.
Hey, I'd love to see that. 1 quarter left, and Rockets, who have, you've got to say, weathered the storm from the Wolves. And let's not forget, Worcester are fighting for a spot in the postseason. They hold on to that final playoff spot right now in 8th place.
Yeah, absolutely. Deciding not to play Nina Wallace yet. She only has 1 foul left, so Alexis Lewis will be being very careful about when to put her in, and there's a bit of an art to it, I would say. If you put a player in too late, great, you might get them for the last 3 minutes or 4 minutes of the game, but what if you put them in earlier? How many more minutes could you maybe have got from that player? Other side of it, if you put a player in too early, yes, you might get to play them for longer, but then you might lose them for crunch time, and this game is certainly looking like one that is going to have a crunch time.
Here is Amber Thompson getting us underway. Jarju to Malone.
Zone from Worcester, 2-3.
Dillon finds Day, a 3. And on the follow was Jarju.
And a small smile from Coach Lewis. Can't believe the fact this team's just given up a wide open rebound after a shot that was slightly off from Millie Day, shall we say?
Jarju now moves on to 11 points. That's the first time this season she's been in double figures for scoring. Turner, and a bit of a miscommunication between Turner and Maxwell. And Reading, who have a 10-point lead, get the ball back.
Turner, of course, struggled on the offensive end, had a great impact on the defensive end with 5 steals, but first turnover there and not scored yet, but someone that is, of course, so much experience and can do so much more than just score the ball.
And a foul has been called on Charlotte Finn away from the ball. She wants a travel. I think it was on Amber or Millie Day or Amber Thompson, one of the two. Here is Dillon. 3 fouls now on Finn. Dillon looking for help. Finds it in Jarju. Shot clock at 5. 3-pointers good from Amber Thompson.
Huge, 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 huge shot
and that's given them a really comfortable 13-point lead. Amber Thompson catches and drains it. Worcester did a really good job of stopping any offense on the left side of the court, so Rockets quickly reverse it to the right, and in that corner, Thompson makes it good to go from behind the arc.
And Reading have now equalled their biggest lead of the game. Maxwell. A foul has been called on the floor on, well, Maxwell was the one who was fouled. It was actually originally good footwork from her to get out of that double team under the hoop. And Nina Wallace now checks in to the game, and Casey Cox takes a seat. Nina Wallace on 4 fouls right now. And she comes in with less than 2 minutes played of the 4th. It'd be interesting to see what Reading do with that.
Yeah, I was about to actually say that I thought Maxwell should have gone up to take a shot, because she stepped but never actually took the shot. She just held it. So I'm a bit confused why she's got shots at the line. Referees must have felt she was at least in the motion of shooting.
Heather Maxwell, 67% from the stripe this season, misses them both anyway. Day. Gets it stripped by Finn, recovered by Amber Thompson. Fight for the ball. It'll be, I think it'll be a Reading ball. No, it'll be a Worcester ball, excuse me.
Nina Wallace has to manage her last foul really well here. Lots of stealing in the passing lanes, but careful on the ball. And on offense, definitely don't set any moving screens.
Marquez driving at Dillon. Good defense from Dillon. Here is Wallace. Wallace is fouled by Malone. I think that'll be Malone's second foul. Yes, it will.
She has stopped the layup, I suppose. I think maybe he could have done a bit of a better job beating her to the spot rather than just going into her. But even still, it's baseline ball, and Worcester do have a chance here to try and create some good offense.
Stolen away there by Day, but picked up again by Marquez. Marquez stops for 2 off the back iron, and Day collects the rebound and is fouled unintentionally there by Marquez. And that'll be foul number 2 on the Portuguese guard.
Yeah, I think one of those, you both go for the ball, and whoever gets there first gets lucky with it. So Rockets now again, what this does mean for the Wolves is they will be set up 5v5, and they did go with a little bit of zone. Looks like they're going to go back to man here, so I would definitely recommend going to an early ball screen in this offense.
Reading shooting 54% from the field in this game. They were 70% after the first quarter, but they have had a few lapses offensively where miscommunication has led to very needless turnovers, and Coach Portero Luque has straight away called a timeout, not happy with what he has seen in the last minute and a bit.
Yeah, but I think this timeout could work in the favour of both teams, actually. I think Luque will definitely be saying a lot about who are we trying to go to in the offense, what do we do if the initial action doesn't work. So you can see they are running that, what we call a drag screen, a sort of a ball screen that happens really early in transition, and it is getting Millie Day deep to the paint. Problem is, when you kick the ball out, you don't have the likes of Karpova out there ready to splash a 3 like she has done so far in this one, as she's still lying down on the physio table at the moment. So when they kick the ball out, it's what do we do next? Who's going to be a threat? They don't have great 1v1 players on the court at the moment, their current 5, so they need to find maybe a next ball screen. Could they maybe even get Dillon or Thompson in a ball screen with the likes of Jarju or Malone? Meanwhile, for Worcester, they've got an opportunity here. Scoring is starting to dry up for Rockets. Unfortunately for Wolves, they're not having a lot of success scoring themselves, so quick offenses and actions to try and help them score important here.
Well, referee Jamie Wheeler had a bit of a challenge there as the ball was on the floor, as Billy Bedo Patel's little one decided to take the ball. And Charlotte Finn just sharing a nice little moment there.
A baller at a young age. They are recruiting early over at Milton Keynes.
Well, if it worked for Cam Hildreth, it certainly will work for them, eh? Here is Wallace. Marquez. Wallace gets it back. And a foul has been called under the hoop, and I think that will be on Jarju.
Great find that from Wallace.
And that's 2 on Jarju. You can sense that Worcester's attacking play is now becoming very relevant in this fourth period. They do trail by double figures, but they've got to make their free throws. They were perfect to start the third period, but right now are 5 of 11. They've only made 1 free throw from 7 attempts in this second half.
Yeah, again, that's 7 points that would bring this game much closer. It could be a 6-point game right now if they'd have made those shots.
Day. Putting the moves on Finn. Finn stands her ground. Turner comes to help. Jarju at the top, looking for help, finds it in Dillon. Shot clock's at 2. Jarju's got to put it up. Day throws it up and doesn't even hit the rim. Good perimeter defense from the Wolves, but really it just seemed to be one pass too many, and no Reading player really wanted to take that lead and shoot the ball.
Absolutely, and I think it was a good job from Worcester actually trying to make sure there was enough ball pressure on every catch to not allow a 3-point shot. They really need to find a different way of creating if the initial ball screen doesn't work.
Maxwell. Marquez, the running floater is no good. Maxwell on the follow, too strong. Rebounded by Malone.
Excellent job from Malone on the rebound to look after the ball.
Malone now with 6 rebounds in this one. Dillon putting the moves on Turner. Jarju dances inside, too strong, gets her own rebound. Malone, again the shot clock winds down, and Worcester come up with the ball again.
Excellent job from Jarju, but it has resulted in transition opportunity here for
Wallace inside, doesn't get it to fall, and Jarju rebounds. Rebound number 10 for Safi Jarju. That's her double-double. 11 points, 10 boards. Dillon inside, and Malone can't get the finish.
Great find from Dillon. Malone, last couple of possessions, catches around the rim, hasn't been able to make anything of him.
Marquez sets her feet, drives to the free throw line. Wallace. Finn to Marquez. 4 on the shot clock. Marquez inside, can't get it to fall. On the follow, Maxwell can't get it either. And now it's 1 on 2. Millie Day has to slow it down. Malone. Amber Thompson inside. She can't get the layup.
Both teams all of a sudden can't get anything to drop.
It's like the lid has just formed on both baskets right now. Wallace. And that's deflected by Amber Thompson almost directly to where Chrissy Karpova is on the physio table.
Rockets have created such easy looks for themselves, John, and they're just almost panicking. It's like they haven't had this kind of scenario yet this season. Whereas Worcester, meanwhile, really struggling to create good shots and then missing around the rim.
Reading have not won yet in 2025. Marquez a 3. Again, the struggles continue for both teams. Day. Almost feel like a basket will just settle one of these clubs down as we enter the halfway, or we pass the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Mia Thompson has a bit of room inside. Amber Thompson, they've got to put it up. Jarju in and out with her 3.
So close. What a job from Mia Thompson to make something out of nothing there.
But again, Reading eating away at the shot clock. Perhaps you sense that they're not even sure the shot clock is winding down. Maxwell inside, gets bumped, will go to the foul line.
Maxwell's getting lots of opportunities around the rim. She just needs to start converting them, and we've seen her miss her last couple of free throws, so really important she gets probably both of these really to drop if they want to try and chip away at this lead. She can't miss both because there's just too much pressure adding up on Worcester at the moment. Well,
Worcester have yet to score in this fourth period so far. Finally, Heather Maxwell gets their first point of this final period. Conversely, Reading have hit 5 points thus far, so it's been an incredibly low-scoring fourth quarter as Maxwell splits the foul shots. You almost sense the intensity just going up a notch in a game that's had virtually everything. Thompson, Jarju is open for 3. And Wallace steams ahead. Marquez, Finn. Turner for three. That's off the back iron. Malone rebounds.
Might need to try something different here, Worcester. The lineup is not working on the offensive end. They're doing a great job defensively, but offensively, this lineup's not scoring. 7
rebounds now for Malone. That's a poor pass from Amber Thompson. Away comes Wallace. Marquez inside. Doesn't get it to go. She wants a foul. But Reading now have numbers. Marquez is still at the other side of the floor. And Reading don't really get into their set quicker here. And a foul has been called on Heather Maxwell. Bit of a let-off there for Reading because they just didn't get into their set quick enough there, did they? Especially as they had numbers.
Yeah, for sure. I think part of it as well is because they're struggling to score, they want to do what we call clock management, which means they want to, like you were saying a second ago, John, try and make the clock run down as much as possible because Worcester are the better scoring team, although they haven't necessarily shown it in this fourth quarter with their struggles trying to put the ball in the basket. But they are a team that can score more, especially with Karpova. We can see her with an ice pack on the bench. She's not looking like she's coming in anytime soon. So Rockets really are going to struggle to score, so longer offenses will help them.
Just 6 points have been scored in nearly 7 minutes in this fourth period. Mia Thompson, good defense from Marquez, and a jump ball situation. Worcester will get the ball back. Oh, what a contest this has been. As Heather Maxwell comes out, Casey Cox checks back in. A game has had virtually everything.
And Casey Cox, I think, is a smart substitution to make. Maxwell done a great job on the boards, but struggling to finish at the rim. Cox can also add that three-point threat.
Finn driving inside. Good defense from Amber Thompson. Casey Cox, as you said, averaging around 9 points a game this season, the 21-year-old. And Marquez strips it off Thompson. She thinks she's fouled by Mia Thompson, and the whistle has gone. Alana Malone with the block, and Marquez still having a chat with the officials.
I think Mia Thompson actually tried to foul just to slow the ball down and make it a silent ball. I don't think she realised the team fouls, but if the referee feels that Marquez still has advantage and it's in the middle third of the court, he doesn't actually have to call a foul. He can let them keep playing if he thinks it might benefit Worcester in the long run, but in the end, too much contact around the rim, and referee Jamie Wheeler calls the foul.
Well, Reading Rockets and Milton Keynes Breakers are going to tip off at 4 o'clock over on the Basketball England YouTube channel, but what a game we have had here on the Reading Rockets channel today. It's been end-to-end, an absolute roller coaster of every sort of emotion you can think of. It really has, as Marquez, a 74% foul shooter this season, strings them both, and the gap is 10 with 2:31 remaining.
Yeah, and you'll see Worcester zone pressing here. They need to try and get steals and out in transition if they want to get quick points. Wallace
inside, and the finish from Mia Thompson, a tough make. Wallace, who was fortunate not to be called for a 5th foul before that basket. Here she is on the ball. The floater off the window.
And again, Worcester will have to press. Zone press is normally the most effective. They've gone a 2-2-1 formation.
They've got to get it over the timeline, Reading, and they just about do. Malone holds on. And Reading, you feel, are holding on because a second win of the season is within their sights. Jarju inside, too strong. Casey Cox with the rebound, fought by Mia Thompson.
Huge jump ball.
Absolutely.
That, because it gives it back to Worcester.
Gives them back to him. Gives it back to Reading. Reading are fighting for every loose ball here. Jarju And it will go out of bounds. Another bit of miscommunication. And that's turnover number 30 for Reading in this game. But more importantly, they're up by 10 as we enter the final 1 minute and 40 seconds of this enthralling contest.
And rolling the ball is just going to make sure the clock doesn't start until Worcester want it to. They're trying to make every second count.
Turner, Finn, big possession for Worcester. Finn will go to the foul line. And now Finn being held back up. She's in a bit of pain as well.
Yeah, and these free throws can also give you opportunities, again, to set up a full court press. So sometimes you'll see teams will put their biggest players into rebound because they want to try and get the rebound on the free throw. But sometimes, actually, you go with your best defenders. So you're set up to press full court. And I think every time Worcester press, they've got a good opportunity of getting quick steals and actually forcing Rockets into some turnovers.
A 73% foul shooter for the season. Charlotte Finn buries the first. Another veteran of the WNBL arena is Charlotte Finn, 21 years of age. Makes the second. 1:31 remaining. Single-digit game. Thompson just about keeps it in. Jarju has it. And the ball goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Rockets.
Yeah, great job from Turner to hustle on that one, and also almost came up with it, but just landed out of bounds when she had her hand on the ball.
Reading are hanging on. Dillon. Day. Driving. Finds Thompson. Shot clock at 4. Dillon. And a travelling violation on Tanya Dillon. And Worcester get the ball back again. And a chance to eat away at the lead again.
And a young mistake there from Dillon. She managed to get past the 2 perimeter defenders. And instead of going to the rim with 3 seconds left, she's decided to pass and really sort of stitched her teammate up there, even if the travel wasn't called.
Finn. Marquez, corner pocket, decides to kick it out. Cox, big shot, misses it. Big rebound from Millie Day.
Worcester need a steal here.
10 rebounds for Millie Day. Jarju. Dillon. And Nina Wallace pips it from Jarju, gets the ball and lays it in. It's 63-57, and Coach Portero Luque calls timeout.
Absolutely. Now, there's a couple of things Luque might be talking about here. It could be about how to break a full court press, or he might have used this to advance the ball and try and make sure they have 14 seconds of offense. You're almost worth getting to the end of that and just holding it and just making sure it ends up being a sideline or baseline ball.
Well, right now, that's what Reading are going to do. It's got to be that. It's, you know, making sure that they eat away as much of the clock as possible and forcing Worcester to foul. Reading now out of timeouts with 32.6 seconds remaining.
And Rockets have done phenomenally well to not have their leading offensive player, Guerrero Rainford, and then Chrissy Karpova, who's on fire in this one, to then be out of the game. The way they've changed tactically is very impressive. They've only actually scored 7 points in this fourth quarter. They started the game with 28 points in the first, but Coach Luque and Coach Hayfield have just adapted their game plan and made it one that's just nasty to play against, difficult to play against, and made sure the offenses are long, difficult to get out in transition. Really, really well managed, this one, by the Reading coaches.
32.6 seconds remain, and Reading are just that amount of time away from their first win of 2025. And let's not forget, they have lost all 5 of their games in 2025, Charlie, but 4 of them have been by single digits. They have been very competitive throughout. They lost to Cola last week, 76-69. And that's the second place team in this division. And it's a traveling violation again on Dillon.
Again, it's the difficult thing is when you have a player like Karpova, there's years of experience there, managing these game situations year after year. This is Dylan's first experience of managing a close game at a senior level.
She's had a fantastic game either way you look at it. Cox. Finn, a three. Can't get it to fall. That will stay a Worcester ball. It came off day last. And now a timeout called by Worcester, who still have another timeout on top of this remaining, with 16.1 remaining.
Has to be a three-point shot, in my opinion. You could go for a 2 and 2 quick steals, but I think Reading's done a good job of inbounding the ball and making the next pass. They probably haven't got time to actually go for a 2. So my guess is here there'll be a distraction action that will get someone that's dangerous to the three-point line and try and get Reading's focus to that player, and then they'll have a second option somewhere on the three-point line that they can pass to. Once that happens, expect them to press and have to steal the ball.
Well, both teams shoot below 30% for the season from downtown. You'd never guess it considering the threes that have been raining in here today. Worcester 7 of 26 from downtown. Conversely, Reading 8 of 13. Quite incredible considering they hit 6 3-pointers in the first half, did Reading, and have only hit 2 since. And likewise for Worcester, they were 5 of 16 from downtown in the first half, and they have only hit 2 in the second half.
John, once this ball comes in, there is the option for Reading to actually make a foul and have Worcester take 2 shots at the line.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Reading are in the penalty. Worcester have still got 2 fouls to give. Turner. Got to be quicker than that. Turner on the spin, doesn't get it to fall. And Jarju, they're all fighting for the loose ball. Day has it, and Day will slow it down. Finn has no choice but to foul, and that will do it.
Excellent, excellent job from Reading there to make sure there was no easy shot opportunity. Great footwork from Turner, but couldn't quite finish with her weaker left hand. Great job then from Rockets to secure the rebound, and Day ripping the ball out of Worcester hands and getting it over the half.
You've got to say this is, you know, more than Reading have deserved. Dylan will slow it down, and that will do it. And Reading collect their second win of the season, beating the Worcester Wolves 63-57. A fantastic win for Reading, only their second of the season. And as a result, Worcester will stay in 8th spot. But London breathing down their necks on the 9th spot right now. But what a win for Reading, and no more than they deserve. Chrissy Karpova, without question, the hero.
For sure, missing out in the second half, missing their 2 strongest and most experienced players. No Alicia Guerrero-Rainsford, no Chrissy Karpova, no problem. Tactically, very, very good in the 4th quarter to make it a game that was just very low scoring after a very fast first quarter. Excellent, excellent job from Reading Rockets. And I think, of course, no doubt how big an impact having such a good crowd in here at Loddon Valley has helped them today. Good fight from Worcester Wolves. They never quit, they never gave up. Tough day at the office in terms of the second half and trying to finish their plays at the rim, but even still, really impressive performance from Rockets and well deserved.
Amber Thompson with 12 points and 3 rebounds. A double-double for Safi Jarju, her first double-double of the season. 11 points, 13 boards for her. Leading the way for the Worcester Wolves was Nina Wallace, who had 18 points. She was supported by 15 from Carolina Marquez, but make no question about it, a well-deserved win for Reading.
Absolutely, really impressive performances across the board. A really enjoyable game for us to commentate over and for people to watch at home. A great advertisement for the WNBL Division 1. Get to your local team, go and support them. It's a pleasure to have anyone here at Loddon Valley or at JMA supporting these girls. Well done, girls, great win.
And that'll do it from us here on the Reading Rockets YouTube channel. But we will make the swift change over to the Basketball England YouTube channel, because coming up at 4 p.m, it's 1v5. It's the dress rehearsal for the Kick King Trophy final. It is the Reading Rockets against the Milton Keynes Breakers. We'll be back just before 4 p.m. But for now, goodbye.